Welcome back to Spoiler Alert. My name is Lee and let's talk about Gladiator 2. Okay, now the movie's come out recently and people are saying that, hey, it's a good movie, it's a bad movie, is it good, bad? I would say that there are 5 reasons to not watch this movie, but there's just like 2 reasons to watch this movie. Let's get to the hits and misses of Gladiator 2. This is Spoiler Alert and don't forget to like, subscribe and of course share and comment on this video. And let us know if you like this movie or not. Okay, now the miss number 1 of course is the story and plot. Okay, it felt very much like a remake of the first movie where you have a war sequence in the beginning. You have the main character either being captured or, pushed away from the Roman army, then gets captured back by the Roman army as a prisoner of war, and nobody knows who he is. And then he goes back to Rome and he tries to take down the empire. And over that, he leads a revolution to save the entire Roman army. And he also gets discovered as a Roman in a very dramatic and big way. And you're just like, oh wow, that was amazing. The first one, of course, had all the hits, right? You had Russell Crowe being incredible and saying, "My name is Maximus Meridius, commander of the Legions of the North." Oh, it's just amazing, right? It was fantastic to watch him play that role, and that was his breaker character that launched him up to the stars. This one, however, they kind of split his character into 2. You had Paul Mescal playing his fury and his vengeance side of it, and you had Pedro Pascal being the dutiful Roman general that he actually is. Neither of them really converge and become, they just run parallel to each other, and after a while when Pedro Pascal dies, Paul Mescal suddenly just randomly picks up the duty and is like, yes, I want to fight for the entire Roman army. Even though for the entire movie, he's like, I hate the Romans, they're horrible, this place is diseased, it's going to be falling, it's horrible, this. But suddenly he's all like, instilled with belief and power, and he's like, oh my God, strength and honor. I don't know why. Now the 2 other emperors in the movie, again, they split Joaquin Phoenix's character into 2, right? They had Emperor Geta and Emperor Caracalla. Now, honestly, they were chumps and they were very, very stupid, and Denzel Washington just wrapped them around their finger like this. It was so easy to manipulate them and take them for a ride. And I don't know, I felt like they were just there for no reason. They died, but it felt very, very lackluster. There was no actual impact in their deaths at all. Denzel, on the other hand, was a decent addition to the entire cast. However, he plays a very modernized version of himself in that entire movie. And you never really get a feel of who he is or what he's doing in the movie until much later. And okay, spoiler alert, he is a villain in the movie. However, I don't know why they had to build him up as a hero and then make him a villain. Like, now there's this one scene where Denzel Washington goes to Lucius's prison cell and says that, hey, you're gonna be my instrument to take down the Roman Empire. And he says, what's your real name? They're like, I'll never tell you that. And they never do. They never tell us who he actually is. They just call him Macrinus because that's his Roman name. But they never actually give us his real name. And right after that entire scene, suddenly, Lucius is like, oh my God, I'm going to take you down. You are a horrible man. Denzel, of course, kills his mother a little later, and that's the actual fury that leads him to, kill Denzel Washington, who's like 50 years older than him in the movie. And he fights a gladiator who's in the prime of his life and still loses, obviously. Like, he trained him and then he loses to him. Why would you even try taking him on? Now, sound design, of course, was a hit for me, but some scenes, when they're just 2 people talking quite softly, somehow the entire armies on both sides can hear them peacefully. They're just like, you are gonna be the one. I'm just like, how can he hear you if you're gonna be speaking? How can this entire army hear you if you're gonna be like this soft in this entire place? Like, it makes no sense to me. But that's one of my hit/miss. The other hits, I would say, is production value. Okay, now production value, it was beautiful to watch. A huge grand scale movie that has a lot of action in it. The sequences are great. The fighting sequences are amazing. The CGI, of course, also is pretty good. And it does make it worth the watch. The other hit, of course, is music. And no, they don't have any rap in the movie, don't worry. When the first trailer came out, people were, up in arms and were like, oh my God, they're going to be rap in the movie. It's a period piece. What's going on? Why is there rap there? But don't worry, there's no rap in the movie. It's very, very true to the original movie. And of course, they do play the original Gladiator theme song right at the end. And they show a little clip of Russell Crowe's hand. And that was like, oh, fantastic. But I don't know, for me, if you want to watch a movie that's just brainless and mindless action, go for it. Just turn your brain off, watch it, and don't think too much about it. Great movie to watch, but if you like the original, watch the original and prepare to be disappointed for this sequel. I would give it a solid 4 on 10 in my books, and I wouldn't want to recommend anybody else to pay money to watch this movie in theaters. So yeah, that's my opinion. Of course, keep it locked to 94.3 Radio 1, and we'll see you next week on another episode of Spoiler Alert. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Let me know if you think it's worth the watch or not. I'll see you next week. Signing off.
94.3 Radio 1.